There was a 2-hour long conversation with America's #1 divorce lawyer. And this is the most viral moment of the whole conversation. And it's where he talks about the capacity to love and how he is moved to tears during this interview, during this segment. And we're going to talk about what that means for us and his critical observation between us and God. Let's get right into this Diary of CEO. His name is James Sexton, and America's #1 divorce lawyer. It's crazy.
A friend called me up and said, hey man, we're doing an adoption event with this dog. I just need you to watch him for the night. He's a puppy, he's got mange, he's a little goofy thing, but like, I just need you to watch him for the night. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't have the kids this weekend. Like, I'll watch a dog for a night. And then
you fell in love.
Brings this stupid dog, this little stupid mange-ridden worms. And he walks into my apartment, and he pees immediately on the floor. And I thought, oh shit, I just got a dog. I just got a dog again. I'm doing this again. And that was 13 years ago. And man, I'm so glad. Like, I'm so glad. And he'll sit there, with his little gray face now, and he'll sit there next to me and he'll look at me. He's just as crazy about me as I'm about him, because he knows I saved him and I know he saved me. And he looks at me and I think to myself, oh, you're gonna kill me. Like, you're gonna kill me when I lose you. And it's gonna happen sooner rather than later. I'm not gonna have another 13 years. I'm lucky if I have another year. But man, like, I don't know. I'll do it. I'm so glad I did it.
He saved you.
Yeah, because he reminded me of a thing I forget, that we all forget, that I have an infinite capacity for love.
Bam! He had a previous dog that had died and he didn't want another dog again, so he got this dog, fell in love. 13 years later, he's sad because he's going to lose it, and it reminds him of the ability to love infinitely, the capacity to love infinitely. It's probably something that you question as a parent. If you're about to have another child, like, do I have the capacity to love? Or if you lose a love, do I have that capacity to love again? And he says, yes. This is a reminder that we always have a capacity to love again, because we have an infinite capacity to love. And I would say, conversely, we have an infinite desire to be loved.
No matter what I lose. Because we're just losing all of it all the time. But that's not a reason not to love. That's not a reason not to. It's so brave to love. And it's only brave because it's scary. Like, if you're not scared, it's not brave. It's only brave because it's terrifying. It's terrifying to know, like, this thing's gonna break my heart. And I'm gonna let it break my heart, because the joy that it's gonna give me in the interim, like, I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. And right now, if you say to me, when Kava passes away, will I ever do it again? I'm like, nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you know what? I'm lying. Like, I'm lying. I'll love again. I know it. And I think it's the same thing with romantic love. Our hearts get broken. We fall apart. We break in relationship and we heal in relationship. And we recover from that breaking in relationship. And I think there's something really, really important there. You've really accomplished something. You're the first person who got me to cry on a podcast. It's pretty.
So he talks about how there's this, like, ability to get your heart broken. And he talks about it as an inevitability. However, I think that because the definition of love is this free will, free action, there must be the ability to break your heart, to be rejected, to be let down. Because in the risk of being able to be let down or being brokenhearted, is that the gap, is that the ability to love is that much more. That's what makes love, is that it just creates this massive risk and reward and a sense of loss. And that's what makes this world broken, a broken place, is that we do have broken hearts. That love is taken away. And yet he says something very profound. He says, you're lying to yourself if you say you can never do this again. Of course you can do this again, because you will. You'll love another dog. You'll love another spouse if they die. If you divorce, you will love again, because we have this infinite capacity to love and this infinite desire to be loved. That desire doesn't go away when someone dies. The desire doesn't go away when you're single. So this ability of course you could remain single and have a full life, have a fulfilling life. Of course you can. But I don't think that removes that desire to be loved and the capacity to love others. It can't. It's just how we're wired. And then he talks about why that is.
It's really something to be proud of. I cry all the time, though. To answer your question, yeah, I cry constantly. For a guy who's like tattooed up and down and does Brazilian jiu-jitsu for fun, I cry constantly. Usually because something's beautiful. I think that that's what moves me the most, is how beautiful it all is. Like I think this is all, it's a game we can't win, you know, and we just keep playing it. And that's so lovely. Like, it's so brave. It's so cool that like it's all ending all the time and we just keep doing it, you know? We just keep doing it because if there's something in our hearts that wants it, you know, maybe that's, I don't know, like I'm not a religious person, but maybe that's some insight into the nature of God, that like we come from something and we disconnect and then we spend all our life trying to reconnect to something.
Bang. That reflects God because we've come from something. We are bared in the image of God, who is infinitely loving. And so that desire, if he's infinitely loving, we are infinitely needing love. Okay? If there's a supply, there is conversely a demand. Okay? It's not economics, but if something exists, right? Infinite love. If something, this is C.S. Lewis. If something exists in the world, that means there is demand for that existence. And so the infinite love of God, if that exists, so that means that we have the infinite demand for infinite love. We have the demand for infinite love. I hope that makes sense. And he says that it's just this beautiful game that we can't win. And he realizes that as a divorce lawyer, America's #1 divorce lawyer, he's written 2 books. He sees that these divorcees, they remarry, they do it again. Their heart breaks. They undergo so much trauma and heartache and sorrow. Why would you ever subject yourself to that kind of heartache again? And you do, because we all have this desire to love and be loved. And I think the world gets that confused, but they know intimately that it's true. So you redefine love in a whole bunch of different ways. But this, what he would say as a non-religious person, it says like this reflects something greater than us. It reflects something more important that's intrinsic within us. So why are we created like this? Well, maybe it reflects God. And so I think he's spot on. I think that's something that's really intriguing to take a hold of. But let me know if you agree. Do we have the infinite capacity to love and be loved? Is that a thing? Or is it possible that, you know what, someone can go through life and not really feel love or not really feel the need for love? And I think that the demand for love is infinitely there in every single human heart because God is love and he is infinite. And therefore that's the desire that we are missing in our own hearts. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.